Thank you so much, sir. World Conference 2024 is getting fulfilled, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy. While Evangelist Paul Ibede was talking, another man I came to know and respect so much, who I know when he started his own story too. And so you go the right as you the right for evangelism. But like I said, if you remember when I was laying the foundation, I said, struggling the mic inside the church does not make you a pastor. Can I show you the greatest pastors in our time? These are the pastors. When you are sitting on top of a particular aspect of life, as an engineer, you are on top. As a doctor, you are on top. You are the pastor of that place. So we have very great privilege to have them in our midst out of their tight schedule. And I'd like you to get set. A lot of people know him to be a politician. I told him to his face, I said, the political aspect of your life does not even matter to me. I said, I came to discover you carry something. You have a lot that has made you. Please, I'd like you again to pick your pen. I told somebody, I said, he's not a special advisor to the governor on entrepreneurship because they wanted to give him a political office. It's because the state needed him to change the entrepreneurship life of the state around. And we are privileged to have him here. Not as a special advisor, as a man who has seen a lot, who have gone through the system and has navigated to the point where he is. And he too can say that he has either a service or a goods that is giving him money. Respectfully join me to bring Dr. Peterson to the microphone. Thank you so much, sir.
Someone praise the Lord. I feel so honored to be before you this morning. I want to thank you very much, Dr. Lion. I can see one of my fathers in the Lord outside. Our very dear Reverend is seated outside. Now I feel at ease. So be speaking while my father is outside. Please help us welcome. Okay. So now, I didn't just come to speak to you. This is examination for me. My father is out there to see how I'll perform today. But thank God for the Spirit of God that will quicken our heart today and help us to understand. I welcome you. My elder brother, Evangelist Paul Ibede, I want to thank you for that wonderful lecture you gave us. May God continue to replenish you and also help you with wisdom to uphold that principle that you are noted for. I thank you, sir. And for the chief from the fathers, the chief of my community is here, the Apara of Abokino, I want to thank you. And also, he's also here with Chief Everett of Cambodia. I thank you very much. I want to start from the story of creation. God said, let us therefore create man in our image and after our likeness. And the Bible says, from the dust of the earth, he created man. When that man was created, he now added the third factor, the breath of life, which is the spirit of God. That belongs to God. So he made the body and the soul. He now added the spirit of God. I thought he was going to end there. And the Bible said, God created a garden and placed the man in the garden. Normally he is God. There's nothing else he's looking for. He would have asked the man, just be eating and sleeping. But he did not. He gave him a charge. He gave him an assignment. An assignment to do what? To walk the field. An assignment to do what? To dominate. And I asked myself, why did God give man that assignment? And my mind took me back to when he was creating man. He said, after our own likeness. It means that God is a businessman. I don't think I'm wrong. If God is a businessman. And because he's a businessman, that's why he said, go into the world and multiply. That multiplication, people think it's about children, go and have children. No. It's to multiply his words. Did the Bible not say ye are gods? Go and recreate. Recreation doesn't mean have children. Those things that God has made, those things that he has created, recreated. And that was also why God gave his only begotten son, one. And what? He has so many sons now. I mean, God likes profit. No wonder he said, I wish above all things that he may be in good health. And what? And I so prosper. And I wonder why God uses Christ. And if you look at my analogy earlier, what is soul? The soul is the man. Your body is not the man. Your body is the container of the man. And the man lives in that body with the spirit of God living in the man. So that's Trinity actually, representing God on earth. So he said that your soul may prosper. That is, the man in you may prosper. And what is this prosperity? Please don't get me wrong. Prosperity is not about money making alone. Prosperity is for you to live according to God's standard. And the God's standard is, apart from the holiness, for you not to be in want, for you to be in good health, for you to do well. You see, somebody once ascribed cleanliness to what? Holiness. And I try to dissect or look at that statement. The cleanliness is next to godliness. And I ask, what is cleanliness? Is it that you wear white and there is no spot? No. In whatever you look at a rich man, any man that is rich, he's always clean. I mean, go to his house. His house is always clean. See his business, he's always clean. So little one that he said that is next to godliness. This is my own analogy of looking at it. Not that you wear white and there is all this thing in you. No. And it's also not about your character itself. So for me, having established that fact that God loves business and God is a businessman because he wishes us to prosper. When I go further to the titans of the Bible, the people that were called the father of faith, the friend of God, people that laid the foundation that Christianity is on. Let's start from the story of Abraham, from his father's house, and ask him to go to his strange land. And why did God bless Abraham? And how did he bless Abraham? Did the Bible not say, I will bless the work of your hands? I told myself, it's God. Why didn't he just make blessings and sheep after he created them? He could create anything and say, Abraham, this is yours. He didn't give him that. Rather, what he did to Abraham was a businessman. As Abraham was a businessman, God blessed Abraham. And not just Abraham, his son Isaac also. Recall the story of the well. When Isaac would dig well, they go and cover it, and dig well, they go and cover it. What was he using the well to do? Irrigation. What was the irrigation for? To farm. And guess what? My other brother here said he's a farmer. I will tell you the kind of farmer he is. we would define it because he didn't go in depth. He just came and said he's a farmer, and you think that is that, you know, our understanding of being a farmer, that you go to the farm wearing those dirty clothes and say you are a farmer. It's not that kind of farmer. I will explain to you. Now, Isaac was in business. He was doing farming business. And God blessed him. And it was great. Look at his son Jacob. Jacob also was a businessman. How did he start his business? He started his business in the house of Laban. When there was an agreement reached about the sheep, how to share the sheep, he said the spotted one will be your own, and the non-spotted one will be that of Laban. He did not even not say wisdom is the principal thing. In all thy getting, get understanding. And I asked myself, what is understanding? Understanding is the tool with which you operate wisdom. Operationalization of wisdom is understanding. What did he do? Jacob was the person who taught us about genetics, about engineering in biology. How do you do that? He took a stick, the spotted one, and put it by the river body, by the water body. So when these sheep are drinking, they see the spotted rod, and then, because they are relating to that spotted rod, the baby in the womb, or the sheep in the womb, becomes spotted also. That was how he made his own money. And when he was leaving Laban's house, he left a very great man, a very rich man. So he was actually doing business. I'm bringing out one key factor of success, wisdom, here. The first factor we brought out was the fact that you have a charge to do business. You are created not to be idle. You are created to dominate and to do business. So nobody created you to go and work for someone. Working for someone was created by man, and I will tell you where it came from. We've seen two things now. That you are created to dominate, to run a business, because God put Adam in charge of the Garden of Eden. Then we've now seen the issue of wisdom here in Jacob. How Jacob became great, operating in wisdom. Two essential key for wealth creation. Now you go further. Let's travel in time to, our modern time now. Just imagine this scenario that you are the person that sells the air we breathe, and you are charging just ₦1 for every day that we draw our breath. For over 7 billion persons in the world. So every day, you take 7 billion naira. One naira to anybody is nothing. You don't pay your ₦1. To you is ₦1. To you is not the ₦1. But to the man that is receiving it, is 7 billion. Accumulation of it. I want us to look at that particular aspect, and I will expatiate. There was a lecture I went to, and I tried to bring up what Napoleon Hill said in one of the books. I can't remember which book. There was an analogy he drew. He said, he talked about gratification. Early gratification and delayed gratification. The early gratification is this. I have two things to give. I give you 10 million naira now, right now. And I give you a system that gives you ₦1 that multiplies itself every day. And I asked the people there, which one will you take? Somebody stood up and said, I will take 10 million now. Sharp. I said, how? He said, okay, that's miracle now. Miracle 10 million? You know what he can do to me? I said, very well understood. But you know that we can run the figure for the ₦1 that multiplies itself. By the time you start running this figure, by the 7th day, you retire. By 14 days, you'll be like as if nothing is going to happen. But lo and behold, we know that we don't have time, so let's do the math. From the 21st day, you start seeing the magic. By the 23rd day, you already have multiples of that 10 million. By the 30th day, you are already over 100 and something million naira. But so, people look at businesses or life with that gratification now, immediate gratification. Every business needs time. Every business needs wisdom and knowledge. So, what I'm trying to say is build the foundation of wealth creation. Having said this, that we now know that first we are created to be businessmen, not to be workers. We need wisdom to operate in business to be able to make profit. Third, we also need time, patience, to see that business through. Most people don't have time for it. That is why you need a thorough knowledge of where you are going. It's like somebody who has gone to Lagos now. He knows the road, he knows where there is potholes. From somebody who has not gone to Lagos, when he gets to that Benin roundabout area, that the bypass area, it was very bad. I don't know whether they've done it now. He will give up and say, this is how Lagos road is, I'm not going to do it. But by the time he gets out of Benin, between Benin and Ora, the road is so smooth, he wouldn't know. That is how we need patience. But because people are not patient enough, they give up too. Let me tell you where the concept of you working for people came from. It came from slavery. Servitude. Where you go and serve people. Initially, you go and serve for you to get food, for you to be given food. You live in the house, they feed you, or give you corn, you work. Then after a time, it was no longer fashionable when they abolished slave trade for you to be called a slave, you chain in your neck and all that. Okay, they made you another kind of slave. A slave where you come to work, you get paid for what you're doing, for your 8 hours. So those are during that 8 hours, your time and your life is bought from you by the owner of the business. He owns you completely at that point in time without saying a word. Because just imagine the day you feel sick and you can't go to work, what do? You have to call to take what? Permission. If you don't call to take permission, you'll be sanctioned. That shows that he owns your time, not your life. That time is his. But here. And how did he get it? You willingly, you wrote an application by yourself. You said, okay, I'm here to submit my life before you. And he will read through your life. And how will he read through your life? Your name, your date of birth, the school you attended. Okay, you are good enough. I will take your life in exchange for this amount. And you will go home and start celebrating. And you come to the come and help me sing hallelujah. That's how it is, you understand? But you have just sold your life, you have found out that your life, that your productive time. These are some of the mistakes that we make as human beings. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that people shouldn't work. The Bible said if you don't work, you shouldn't eat. But the Bible does not say if you don't work for someone, you shouldn't eat. And also, there are various kinds of work. There are work where you go and get knowledge from so that you can actually, establish your own. What I'm trying to say here is for those people who are not thinking of doing something with their life from the day one they look for work. Then if your mindset is, I want to join my uncle's farm now, Because I want to understand the kind of farm that he's doing. Because he keeps calling himself farmer, but he's not wearing those dirty clothes that those farmers are wearing. What kind of farming does he do? You understand? You need to understand. Okay, I go there, I now write application, I give to him. What I'm doing that time is I'm giving him my time and my life to, in exchange, to learn what? To get knowledge. Did the Bible not say, my people suffer for what? So I have decided not to suffer. Because I have decided not to suffer, what am I doing? I said, I will exchange my time for knowledge so that I don't suffer. So that's what we are doing. So there are two different things. Now, let me explain to you the kind of farming that he does. And that will bring us to what I want to say here. Yes, today by the special grace of God, I'm the special advisor of entrepreneurship development in Delta State. And we'll be given charge to change the entrepreneurship space of Delta State. And we have started. It's not an easy fix, neither is it an easy task. We don't have support from anywhere other than instruction. This is what I want you to do. Sometimes like sending somebody to battle. You didn't give him gun, you didn't give him cutlass, you didn't give him anything. The only thing you gave to him is that now you're my soldier. Go to battle. And of course, just like when David went into battle, there's no record that David was given a sword or a shield, right? That was why Goliath said angrily, how dare you come against me? Let me tweak that verse a bit. You come against me not even carrying a sword or a shield. You came to me with a catapult. Do I look like a bird? Look at my size, look at your size. Is it that you don't see? But David said so. I am here against you in the name of the God of Israel, whom you have defiled. So when we're given that assignment, I said, we will go in the name of the God Almighty, whom we all call upon and we serve. And that's it, God will answer to us. And guess what? Did he answer? Yes, he answered. Because when we're coming in, we said, we had this grandiose dream. Oh, they are going to give us 50 essays to work for us. In every local government, we have 2 essays. We made a proposal memo. Male and the female essay, each local government, 9 SSA, 3 EAs. So all in all, we're going to have about 62 assistants working for us. We'll have 16 operational vehicles, to do this thing. None was given to us. But we kept at it. But at the point in time, when I understood why the memo wasn't flying, our father and our leader, Thomas Olin, sent me to go and meet the government. And I met the government, present government. He said, I'm going to now fund you. As at that time, the Bible said the entrance of the wall, beget what? At that time, the word has already entered me. I told him, okay, don't fund us, we don't need it. He said, what do you mean? I said, because the day you fund us, we'll start making mistakes. He said, how? I said, when you fund us, you see the civil servants in the office, all their mind will be upon that money that you have given us. You will fear. You see me, I have so many friends and associates. They want me to award those contracts to them. If the one I don't award to, I'll be in trouble. So please don't fund us. Just leave me the way I am and rate me after 1 year. Let me perform. He looked at me and he said, a lot of people are confused about you. They think you are proud. You are not. It's because they don't understand. Go ahead. I'm watching. That's what he said. So you release me and say I should go ahead. Now, what did we come up with? We came up with a word called Deltapreneurship. The word is simple. Delta State, entrepreneurship, So Deltas that are in business are Deltapreneurship. When you are doing business in Delta, what you are doing is Deltapreneurship. So if you are doing business in Delta and a businessman, you are a Deltapreneur. So just put those two words together. It's not just enough to put the words together. We now came up, we researched, and one day I was listening to Elon Musk because in my house, I don't just watch TV. That's another mistake people do. You say you want to watch TV, you relax, and you're watching people entertaining you. They are making money.
That's right.
Rather, what I do, I go on YouTube. Everybody that is around me knows that I don't watch the regular DSTV. In fact, at the point in time, people complain that why is it that we don't subscribe to DSTV? I think I don't watch it. I go on YouTube and I research. I quiz YouTube, I ask questions, and you see, that time you learn better with video and audio. You are seeing it together. So you're learning. So we started researching. Because the Bible said what? Study to make thyself approved. No matter the PhD you have, no matter the degrees you have, that is purely class and academic work.
That's right.
The outside is practical. You can come and say things theoretical. Oh, this with this and this, it will work. Do you have practical, substantiated things that you can show us that will work? We started researching. Then I heard Elon Musk talking about the future belongs to the tech guys and the people that use technology in agricultural business. Oh, I said, okay, agriculture and entrepreneurship, agropreneurship, tech, technology and entrepreneurship, techpreneurship. So we came up with these two initiatives under Deltapreneurship. We said we'll tackle agropreneurship and techpreneurship. Under agropreneurship, I will tell you my humble secret now. Under agropreneurship, you see, before now, we can all relate to cassava. Before now, the cassava species that we have for people who farm cassava, from the time you plant cassava and the time you can harvest it, how many months? 8 to 9 months. But there are some species now that are 6 months. But you'll be shocked if I tell you that there are new species that are 4 months. So knowledge is very important. And I will come to that later. But let's keep going. Then in the farming, I looked at how do we make farming a business? Because the truth is, all my life I never went to farm. I never had practical experience in a farm setting where you go to farm and say you want to farm. And in my head, farming is equated to hard work, right or wrong. You go, you carry cutlass, you carry this bent cutlass, go, and you do all these things. And at the end of the day, yield might not be as good as supposed to be. From the research, I discovered that you can actually farm inside this room. And we researched and found the word that now is very familiar with hydroponic farming. He has an hydroponic farming. A big round of applause for him. He has some greenhouses. He has engaged some young people who are putting that together for him. And I'm very happy that what he's doing that we are copying. And you know, in Ika, they said the child will always be bigger than the father. So we hope that we're bigger than him. He started it, we'll take it further. So, you know, we came up with hydroponic farming. The reason is this. We all know, given the security situation in Delta State, in Nigeria actually, Delta has its own. We've had politicians and people that have been kidnapped in their farm and even killed in their farm. So a lot of people no longer go to farm. Little wonder the prices of food have gone up. I mean, that added to it apart from the issue of devaluation of Naira. So we came up with that hydroponic, we researched into hydroponic. We discovered that we can actually grow some fruits and vegetables inside your house. And there's this vertical hydroponic farming system. Because of there's not much space, you can use the vertical system to actually grow food. And the truth is, it is an all-season thing. There's no out of season. You know, sometimes you say, well, this is planting season. You harvest. You have to wait again for planting season. No, it's an all-season thing. You know? And by the time we tell people, it's soilless. You don't have to put it in the soil. You can farm on water or on substrate. Substrate is not soil. By the time I tell someone that you can farm on water, it's like, you have come again. And water, or what thing, you farm inside water. I said, no, it's not just water like that. From the nursery, you can have a container like this. If once the plant is grown from the nursery, then actually put it in, and make sure all the nutrients are inside the bottom. It will grow. Because the soil is only performing the same role as a substrate. It doesn't give it stability to hold the plant. The roots are looking and scavenging for nutrients in the soil. That's why it's always they say you water. I don't know why they say you water this thing. It's to make soluble the nutrients in the soil so that the root can actually absorb them. Where the root is in the soil, scattered. If you look at plants that you have in the soil, the root will go various ways, it's scattered. But when you plant in water, the root will be together. Why? Because it's actually living inside the food it will eat. Simple case is a Greek fowl and our local fowl. Which one is the big class? Wow. You see? So with hydroponic farming system, you can have your yield is between 4 to 10 times, depending on your knowledge of it. It requires knowledge to go. Don't just say you wake up tomorrow and you just start it. It requires knowledge. You need to learn it on how to do it. Now, having said about farming, how is farming a business? There is one thing that we all did today. We did the same thing yesterday, and we'll do tomorrow. Next to breathing, one other thing that supports life is feeding. Whether you like it or not, you ate yesterday. Whether you like it or not, some of us are eating today and will still eat today. Whether we like it or we don't like it, when we eat tomorrow, we must feed. And feeding is not only food, even you will drink water. So let's say you are fasting, at the end of the day, you still break it. Either you eat or you drink water. You must feed. So now imagine this scenario that our Bishop Ojewa here is the one that supplies or is the one that produces or half of all the food that we eat in Islam. How do you think he'll be like? Too much money now. You are saying Dangote is rich, Dangote is rich. Imagine if somebody with the capacity of Dangote, who produces about 90% of the cement used in Nigeria, or 80% of the cement, I'm not sure, please, excuse me. Let's say, for purpose of this, let's say 80% of the cement we use in Nigeria, and you are now producing 80% of the food that is eaten in Nigeria, who will be richer? It's not every day we build house, not every day we buy cement, but it's every day we eat. You see, I'm trying to build your mind towards the potential in agripreneurship and the potential in the business of agriculture. That is a major kind of business. And you don't have to get your hands soiled. You don't have to go far in the farm. You have spare rooms that you're not using. You have backyards. Let's say you cannot put ultraviolet light inside your house. Because plants actually is not the hot sun that they need. It is the ultraviolet light from the sun that is extracted for their growth. You can do vertical hydroponic farming in your backyard. Then you now ask yourself, what are those things that are seriously needed by people? Because it's not just enough to farm. It is to farm what people want every day.
and what is in high demand. I stand to be corrected. There was a time when bell pepper was scarce some few weeks ago. There was not enough bell pepper even in Delta. In Nigeria, people were from Lagos were calling in for bell pepper in Delta. Do you have bell pepper? Do you have bell pepper? Do you have bell pepper? Imagine at that point in time, you probably have 1,000 kilos or 10,000 kilos of bell pepper in your farm, and they are looking for bell pepper. The last person that I checked, I have not checked, told me that bell pepper now is between 5,000 to 10,000 per kilo. I don't know, 5,000 to 7,000 per kilo. I don't know. The last time I checked, a long time ago in ShopRite, it was either 1,000 or 2,000 per kilo. Okay. About 6,000 per kilo. Imagine where you have 10,000 kilos of bell pepper. 10,000 by 6,000 is what? 60 million naira. Probably your overhead in running that whole farm, put it as 20% or thereabout. 20% of 60 million will probably be about 12 million plus. Will be your overhead. Then let's say your overhead is 20 million. And guess what? You produce for every 4 days. The would like to say every 7 days you can be cutting it. The book said every 4 days, depending on the kind of nutrients that you have. So imagine where you have a farm that has the capacity to produce that amount. A lot of people have plots that they bought. They keep that plot, they say, I buy this plot for 2 million, and they look for 5 million. I want to sell it. Between the time you want to sell the plot, and between the time you will sell the plot, why don't you start something there and see whether you will eventually sell it. If you clear that plot, you put a proper gate and you start hydroponic system there, you have a security man that you train, that is trained to take care of them, okay? That you pay well. How much do you pay security systems? And you pay well and he's doing that in diligence. Imagine how much you'll be making from that place. Once your bell pepper, I think when you plant it, it's about 16 days or 18 days where you start budding. And when you start budding, every 4 days you start cutting it. By the time you start cutting it, you know how much you make from that place. There was a time when I was still in my in Abuja. Not that I'm still in Abuja, quite. My partner is an Israeli, so we traveled. We went from Kaduna to Kano. He saw that left, right of the farm. We traveled from Abuja to Delta. Discovered a log bush. No farm. You know, that's a small farm. No serious there. And there was something he said. He said, you know that you guys in the south are not secure. I said, how? He said, you don't have food security. The security of your life in terms of feeding in the hands of the northerners. I said, how did you say this? He said, did you not notice? I was with him, I didn't notice. He said, did you not notice that when we went from Kaduna to Kano, we were driving to the left and right is all field farming, you know, the farm left, right and center. They were coming from Abuja to your state. All I could see is bush, forest, that's what I could see. I'm like, yeah. So you're probably right. Yes, it's right. He said, when you came to Israel, what did you see? Once you leave Tel Aviv, there was a time we left Tel Aviv and we're going to Eilat. Eilat is the resort, southern part of Israel. It borders Jordan, Egypt, and Saudi Arabia mountain. You see it from afar. When we're going, left, right, and center is farming. Farm settlement, they call it kibbutz. We saw kibbutz farm settlement. And it's on hard rock where like if it's here, we'll say we're not farming there. They're farming. He said that is why Israel is a net exporter of food. That they don't import food. The net exporter of food. That we are not doing anything about it. And there are so many mouths to feed. And there are so many mouths to feed, but we're not doing anything about it. That what we ought to be doing is to make sure that we produce enough food, which we're not doing. And I told myself, imagine if someone is the one producing this food, how much the person will make. You see, I think it's time when farmers start addressing themselves as farmers. Not somebody who has PhD, he has there's one guy, he's carrying his stomach, he said, I'm Dr. Doe. Farmers should start saying, I'm farmer so and so. Because for the first time, we have a governor in Niger State who said he is governor farmer, right? Yes. That is the farmer, he identified with the farmers. So why can't people start addressing themselves? Be proud. Because there's so much money in it. It's not money, it's not small business. It's huge. You can feed ourselves. Every day you make money. Because whether you like it or not, people must feed. But it's just to identify those things that people will need. We just talked about bell pepper, there's tobacco, and so many that you can actually do from that. And soon, we are engaging the 4 state-owned universities, the 2 polytechnics in the state, and the 2 colleges of education, where we're setting up our demonstration farm. So we ask people, if you need knowledge, come and drink, come and get. We're bringing resource persons that will teach you practical. And the kind of demonstration farm we're having is so that when you come, you set up your own farm like us. So as we're doing our own, you'll be doing your own. So that and when your own goes on, whatever you sell there is yours. A certain family will go back to the school because they own the land. Then, after about probably 6 months or so, you are now free to go and set up your own in your place. So that other people can move in and use the same space that you have used. That's how we want to teach people. Enough of the theory. I'm equally glad that the governments of Nigeria have now seen the need for entrepreneurship as a course. You know that entrepreneurship is now a compulsory course from year 1 to year 3 in university. So tell me, if doing business is not a good thing, why did they set it up in university? And that brings to mind the story of the talents. I ask myself, God gave you talent, that like money, and you kept it for Him. You didn't spend it all. You secured it for Him. And when it came, you gave Him what He gave you. Did you do wrong? But guess what our Father said? You did wrong. You see? That means that part of the charge He gave us, He said, His wishes for us is for our soul to prosper. That we to prosper. So when you don't prosper, it's upset. He's not happy about it. So because he's a businessman and he created you after his own likeness and he wants you to prosper. Now, because of time, we might not really go deep in agripreneurship. But I'm just giving you a hint of the whole thing that there is so much money in it that you need knowledge of it. Because we will need to have a class that's dedicated to teaching you this. And it's not just in theory, the practical aspect of it, so that as I do my own, you will do your own. And we all will learn together. You understand? That's how it is. And thank God that in Incarnation, we have the university spread here. There is a university campus in Agbo, there's the one in Nawa, so we are completely covered. And in other part of Delta too, we have universities there. And we're going to use this center because that's where you have more congregation of youth there. And one might say, what if I'm not in the university? No. there is a program from Monday to Thursday for the students in the university, and there is a program from Friday to Saturday for youth and persons in the catchment area of this university. That is a program for all. Now, we are calling youth all the time. Before we delve into entrepreneurship, what about for an old woman who is there anybody that is 65, 70 here? Any woman? 60, 70, okay, thank God. But they too, they too are supposed to do business. We have a program we call the Transgenerational Wealth Creator for rural women, especially for our mothers and our grandmothers, because they cannot be left behind. Oh, you're here, madam? Yeah. God bless you, man. You will come and cut the cake that day, yes, and I'll chop plenty of it. Yeah. Now, look at it. We designed a program because as Delta, and it's not only youth that are in Delta, Delta is youth are 65% of the population of Delta. What about the aged people, the men and the women? We came up with a transgenerational wealth creator for older people. Before now, if we're asked how do you plant or regrow a coconut, we grow coconut using the pod, right? But with research and more knowledge that's available now, you can regrow a coconut from the palm front. You know the palm front? When you cut it, so you must have seen it, but if you have not seen it, go on YouTube, you will see it. It's there. It's an open knowledge. So just go on YouTube, Google coconut and how to regrow coconut using the palm front. You see it. From the palm front, you cut the palm front in sections. And there are some things you do with it, and it can grow. Another coconut tree will grow. And there are species of coconut. And usually, coconut will start budding or start producing 3 to 4 years after you planted them, or after you planted coconut. But there are new species now that are around. After 12 to 18 months, coconut will be as short as this, and you see coconut. Now, what we're trying to say is this. For the women in the rural area, we'll start it soon. I'm just trying to let you know part of the programs we have for our aged mothers and fathers. Because at that age of 70, they're no longer going out to hustle. How do we accommodate them? Because they have to be productive. So the way we are accommodating them in Delta State is this program where we will give each and every one of them 10 seedlings. These 10 seedlings, they will go and plant it in their backyard. Let's take, for example, the new species that can produce 18 months, that's 1 year, 6 months. Now, did anyone buy coconut in the market lately? Did anyone bought one coconut in the market? How much did you buy it for? 500 naira. Good. Now, the average price in the market is 500. But because mama or papa is not in the market, he has to sell to the middle person who will make profit. Let's take a hypothetical figure here of 300 naira, so that they too that are going to market can make 200 naira, because that will make the customer to start coming. And Noma will not have to go and look for the market. All she needs to do is to let people know that she has coconut here. Because if you have coconut, people will know you have coconut. They will say, "I want myself coconut." Now, when we give them 10 seedlings, these 10 seedlings, in a lifetime of a coconut, what I call it transgenerational area, coconut lifespan is between 80 to 100 years. Please fact check me. This is 80 to 100 years. Each year, the coconut produces between 80 to 120 pods of coconut. But in 1 year. But let's take the lowest number, which is 80, for purpose of this discussion. Now, Mama from 1-3 grows 80 coconut in a year, and she has 10. That is how many? 800 coconut. And she sells this 800 coconut for 300 naira. 300 times 800 will give us what? 240,000 naira. If you average it on a monthly basis, Mama gets 20,000 naira. How many women at that age are getting 20,000, are making profit of 20,000 naira every month? Very few. At the age of 70, you wait for your children to send money to you. With that, our mamas and papas in the rural area can take money from there and buy a recharge card and call their children for more money. You see? And they can be independent. They can buy some of their essentials and buy some of their medication from there without bothering anybody. What are we trying to do? We are trying to build an ecosystem of people that are independent. They are independent of government. The government not give me appointment, you not give me money, I'm not going to job. We don't want that. We are smart people in Delta. That's what we are trying to do. There are so many other initiatives that we have, like the Delta Garage, which I will speak to you privately in future. Delta Garage. I did a research because I went as well as going to the market in Lagos, and I saw that there is this garage they call Benin Garage. That Benin Garage actually comes from here in Ikala. They call it Gary Benin, you know. It comes from here, it's not from Benin. But the name Benin has actually, taken it over. And we in entrepreneurship development space in Delta State said, no, we're going to change that by pushing in everybody's face Delta Garage. It's the most expensive garage you can find in the market, followed by Gary Jebu. Then Gary Robo also. But the Gary from here is more expensive. But I'm not here to talk about that because it's very lengthy. We'll talk about that in some other subsequent meeting that we'll have. And you can see that truly what the Bible said about people suffer for lack of money. An Indian man once said that when he walks on the street of Nigeria, he's walking on gold. But it's unfortunate that most Nigerians don't see it. With all these harsh economic conditions, if you put your mind to it, just as one here said, somebody was doing a recommendation to go and read the book of Proverbs. And he read the book of Proverbs. 3 years into reading the book of Proverbs, he learned the millions. Because what? He seek knowledge. There is need for us to seek knowledge and try out new things. We shouldn't be docile about this. We shouldn't be shy about learning and about trying to increase in knowledge and in wealth. We shouldn't be shy about it. Because for one thing that I know, of course I've dealt with, we are very unique people. A lot of people might not know it. And this one is not a proven theory, but I know that most of us from this axis down to where people are calling whatever, we are God chosen people. You might ask why. Go to the field of banking, we are leading. The first and third most profitable bank in Nigeria belongs to people from here. Go to the field of engineering, our people are top there. Field of medicine in America, our people are there. Entrepreneurship, our people are there. We're unique. There is a phrase we say here. What if you reverse that phrase? Means that I struggle with my hands. It's not giving me food. And what did God say? I will bless the work of your arms. I believe that's why God is with us. He knows that we want to do things ourselves. And imagine if you now combine that determination with the blessing of God. that resilience that we are noted for, you now combine it with God's blessing. The two are lethal combination. Where we get to, I recall 1990, if I'm not mistaken, Uncle Jim was with NMB then, and was offered position in Capital Merchant Bank as an ED. Come and become an ED. He turned it down, he went and set up Business Bank. If they had gone to take up that position at Capital Merchant Bank as an ED, he probably would have risen to a point where he become an MD and he will go. You understand? You know? You will be in the class of our dear Commissioner of Finance. TVJ used to be the bank MD before too, in Lagos. But no, that I'll set up my own. And indeed, and that's why Zenith Bank is creating jobs and has created jobs for thousands of people. And especially a lot of people who are working there. People are, make their life from there and keep making their life from there. So please a big round of applause for now we talk about, see, not everybody that want to hear the word farming, farm, because they don't understand that there's technology that is farming now. I can actually do farming without soiling your hand. There's a video on YouTube where a guy claimed from just selling bell pepper that he makes about 500 million every year. I don't know if that statement is gross profit or net profit. But even if it is gross, you make 500 million. The net profit, I don't think will be less than 100 or 200 million. So if you break 200 million naira monthly, you are still far and above 10 million naira. You know, if it's 10 million naira, you have 120, you have 80 million. So I don't think it's a bad business. Now, for some people, we still not take it. And we are in a community where either by permission or commission, parents are encouraging their children to go press. As adults, we want them to continue pressing, but to press positively. Not the pressing that will cause somebody cry and that will damage people's lives and that will make them to steal. We don't want that. They are the kind of pressing that you press, that you press well. Me too are the press. I will tell my kind of pressing. Now, let me use myself as a example. Now, the program we had last year, June 12th, is called the National Youth Summit. By about February, we mooted the idea and we're working on it. And I told myself, I said, what will I tell these young people when I stand before them? Because I like to be very honest, I try to be honest, and also truthful in whatever I'm telling people so that you can always fact check me. And I said, what will I say to these young people that press, and if I tell them not to press? Because we'll see if you want to learn new way. When we see, if you cook for him, you don't want him to eat outside. There's no food in the house. How will I be able to tell you? You have to give people alternative. It's not just enough to come out and look pious and say, no, this thing is bad, we come and condemn something. Before you condemn something, you have an alternative. So when we decided we're going to do that conference, I told myself, I will do a business online. And that money is what I will use to fund that conference. And I didn't have the knowledge before. I went on YouTube. I remember the word of God. It's a study to make thyself approved. So I went on YouTube. When you say on YouTube, not be TV, they watch television. I'm studying. In fact, I'm doing another doctorate degree in Wellspring University. Most of my knowledge, most of my lectures, or most of my readings, I do it on YouTube. What is associate marketing? I now discovered the trick in associate marketing and how you can be making money. Now, I realized that if you go to Amazon stores you will see some items there, the pictures of items. You will see the number of orders that people that have ordered these items worldwide. You will see some 10 million persons have ordered it, 100 million. You will see 500 million persons. You will see some over 1 billion persons have ordered it. If you look at the one that 10 billion persons have ordered, that means that a lot of people, human beings, like this thing. Have you? Yes. You see the one that 1 million persons have ordered, that means a lot of people might not like this. So what you do? You look at your lowest hanging fruit. Did he not say go and copy the ants? Yes, it's not going to copy the ants, so you copy. So copycat is allowed. So you copy.
Say that again, sir.
Copycat is allowed. You copy. Yes. No, not plagiarism. Plagiarism is stealing. That's stealing. No, you are copying. Now, you see, what you do, you take a snapshot of it. You go on another site called VIDA. That is another topic anyway. But I mean, the whole process I will teach you next time. You go to another site called VIDA. When you go to VIDA, VIDA will help you modify this. When they modify it, then you now have you already have your account with Amazon. Now this VIDA, people go on their site to buy things too. People are buying things. When people now say, this too is on VIDA, you know when they make sense. I want to buy a press. It's in Australia. He buys it $50. Somebody in America says, on VIDA. He buys it $50. Somebody in Nigeria says, he buys it $50. Your uncle that you were begging for money, that he didn't want to give you money, he doesn't have money. He goes online and you know what? You will see the names of the people that bought them at their location. He buys it $50. In a day, our 100 people have bought $50. $50 times 100 is what? $5,000. $5,000. 10% of $5,000 we're getting $500. While they were buying, you were busy. I was busy visiting my chief, drinking with my chief, busy talking politics with people. Vote PDP. Vote PDP. It is us. We are here. We will do this. And people say, yes, it's true. And then you are talking to another person, and you are playing football with some other people, and you are talking, and they are buying. At the end of the day, you notice what we all do? We are all gathered here. Guess what? By 9:10, will you still be here? 9:10 p.m. Where will you be? You will be alone. In your house. With your family. The greatest gift that God has given you is family. That's when you now sit down and check. When you check, you now sit down. $500. You will laugh. You come out tomorrow again. You will do the same thing. People will talk. You make another 500. The people that you were talking to, that you were wasting time, they didn't know that you are doing business, right? Now, let me tell you. And my chief can bear me witness, and some of my colleagues there can bear me witness. That at a point in time, people say, this Peterson, what does he do? You come in the morning, he's wearing pajamas. Afternoon, he's still wearing pajamas. In the evening, he's wearing pajamas. When you ask him for money, he gives you money. Are you sure you're not preaching money? Doing something that is not right. But you know, today, if somebody convert $500 to Naira today, if my math has not failed me, it should be about 700 something thousand in one day. You will be bank manager, how much your salary in a month? You see that thing? If I were you, I will drop everything and learn it. I will learn it. And there's another one. If you go on YouTube, if you say YouTube one storyline, it will show you some animation and video, animation, where somebody is just telling you a story of one girl who lives in a village. In that village, he went to the river to go and fetch water. While he fetched water, he saw a mermaid. the imam made this, and the imam did not do this. At the end of the day, he became victorious. You sit down to take your time to watch it. What have you done? You have added to the number of viewership that that channel has. You see, the beginning of a million miles starts with one step. I mean, you have done one, you have done one, you have done one. Before you know it, that YouTube handle would have had over 1,000 or 10,000 views in a month. And guess what? YouTube is monetized now. At the end of the month, they will look at the number of viewership there, the traction that channel has, and pay the person in dollars. In fact, there is somebody here, I will mention his name later. Anytime you call him, come and cover this occasion. He's there. Come and cover this occasion. He's there. Now, when my wife came, my wife said, this guy is so dedicated. Wow, he's so dedicated. I was looking at her. When you are telling me something, by the time I start looking at you, know that I'm asking you, have you not seen the reason why he's dedicated? My wife knew that look. He now said, oh, okay, I've seen it. He saw some of the videos. They are 1,000 plus, some 100 and something thousand plus. It was that time he said, tell this guy to quickly register with YouTube. He's supposed to be making money. I said, now you are talking. So the following day when he came, see what Madam said? He said, okay. It's as if you know. YouTube just contacted me and said I should submit my details. Now, imagine as time goes on, with him doing what he's doing. And without him having control of people who use his channel, he now start making money from it. Would you see he's doing something that is wrong? See? So that is another passive income just coming to you. Why? Because the Bible said, seeth a man diligent in his work. Diligent, that is, you are committed to your work. He shall stand before king, what? Kings and not men. In fact, I like the way the analogy that the Bible gives. He said, he shall stand before kings and not that, you know, go see poor people for eye. If you want to translate that Bible, that verse to preach in English, you see a man with a dream work where now he would shop with rich people. Poor people you not go see poor people for eye. That's the when you start dining with the king and you start shopping with them. Are you not the king?
Yes.
So you see, these are some of the kind of businesses that are valuable in the time that we're living in. And that brings me to that word, techpreneurship. Just as we have said before, in Delta State, we have 4 state-owned universities, 2 polytechnics, and 2 college of education. We'll start running a program on 1st of August called techpreneurship that will be infused in the school curriculum so that our students can learn this techpreneurship. What are those models we want to, those courses that we want to run there? We have, some of the models we have are artificial intelligence, data analytics, programming, and others, about 6 or 7 programs. And guess what? We're teaching all of this for free. We're not charging money. For free at the university. To the point that we have approached Senate Bank and UBA for connectivity of these universities using Starlink. And to check whether this Starlink they are saying is true, is fast and all that. I want to install Starlink in my house because before I come and talk, I have to check what I'm talking so that nobody will come and say this man doesn't know what he's saying, just coming to say back. Because that's what people are saying politicians to do. I installed Starlink. I thought that Starlink is quite cheap. Before I installed Starlink, that's my phone. I was buying data of 100,000 naira MTN every month. So from that my phone, I'll on hotspot in the house so I can watch YouTube. I can other people can watch and there will be internet connectivity in the house. And my phone will be very, very hot all the time. At the end of the day, the phone will spoil. Then we discovered that I bought the hardware for that time, 385,000 naira. I think it's about 420 now. Guess how much is the subscription every month? 38,000 naira. And I can have about 12 or 15 users because I bought the one for private use, it's not commercial. 38,000 naira. As against the 100,000 I was paying for my phone every month. You see, my people suffer for lack of. So, by the time I had this money, I deployed Starlink. And what we do in the house, we have mad speed internet. The upload speed and the download speed alone is just awesome. Sometimes we get as high as, if I'm not mistaken, on the average of 151 Mbps. The phone you are using now, the internet you are enjoying now, you are not using up to 10 Mbps. So compare your not up to 10 Mbps to my own 151 Mbps on the average. There are times you get to 200. There are times it falls to 120 or 60. It's still higher than what you have on your phone. Now I watch YouTube without buffering. It's just rolling like as if I'm in America or in the UK. At almost a fraction of the cost. The phone I'm using that time is 1.8 billion naira for the hardware. But the hardware for Starlink is 355,000. So you see, although my phone is mobile. But anyway, Starlink said they'll go mobile by December. So you see, now they agreed to deploy the Starlink hardware for us in the school so that we can teach our students all of this knowledge that is required, because we want to create an ecosystem of smart people, independent people, employable people, and people that can be employers tomorrow. That's what we are pushing to. Now, for Fridays and Thursdays, we are repeating the same thing. Youth in the catchment area can equally join in. So that Thursday, that Friday and Saturday program is like a repetition of what was taught from a revision of Monday to Thursday. That's what we teach that Friday to Saturday. So that the youth in the community and people in the community who want to learn can be part of it. So we need to inform you that when we start set up, encourage your children, let them go and learn. I'll tell you why you should encourage your children. And I'll give you two examples. One is living in Ikaland here. The other one is my nephew. My nephew, the laptop, the father is Yoruba. He finished from the University of Port he read petroleum engineering. When he finished, naturally he came to Abuja and said, I finished serving. This is my certificate. He gave me job in NMDC. See that one? Gave me job in NMDC. When he gave me job in NMDC, you see, it's more difficult to live with somebody who is not your biological child. But if he's a biological child, there are some words you can use on him. You will know that it's your father and son. But your brother's son, you'll be very careful the kind of word you use so that it will not be misinterpreted that you're a wicked uncle. So whether you like it or not, we will all age and they'll be in a position and they see that uncle was a very wicked man. So I said, okay. So I started trying to get my job. I used my contact and they said, oh yes, they will give him. So I told me, they said they will give it, they will have to be patient. A month after, I was very agitated. Where's the job? I said, you know what to do? Why don't you go and learn IT? Learn data analytics as well. After grumbling and doing all those, you know how young people do. He must have been cursing me in his mind. He's a wicked uncle. If his son now, he will give him an NPC job. But me now, he won't give me. He was making faces. So 2 days he didn't even say, hello to me. No, children. Eventually, I get he agreed. I even agreed that since he's driving, he can drive one of my cars. Go there and come back. So I think that was what gave him that thing, so that after classes, you can, you know what young people do, you can go out. So I have to throw in that incentive for him to go. To the point that the mother was telling me, you're going to spoil this boy. I said, how will I get him to go and learn? If we don't beg him? You can't beat them. You can't do them anything. So eventually started learning. Very brilliant boy. He learned 3 months after he finished learning. I no longer see his text message like once he's 21st, he knows that this is 21st and 26th. We'll just send his account. You know how when we just send his account to you and keep quiet? He stopped sending his account to me. You know, in our family we love wristwatches and shoes. I came back from work one day, I saw the last people I know about wristwatches well. I thought of wearing a very expensive wristwatch. I went to my room to check, open my safe to see whether something has happened. Nothing happened to my safe. I looked around, I left it inside my head. Oh, where? Because you know, you cannot pronounce it that anything is missing or just accuse me. If it's my son, I will call him and come. Where did you get this money? I wanted to shop. I saw that nothing was missing. I told him, let's go and watch it. He followed me and got watching it. So when we were there, I wanted him to relax so that he could open up his computer. Laptop. I know you studied data analytics. You know that when you hack, when you are doing all these complex practices online, I don't want to call press. I say, you know that we are living in Abuja, there's a way they can track you. He said, yes. I said, I hope you're not doing that. He said, excuse me, Uncle me? No, Uncle, I was meaning to tell you, I was waiting for a day I'm going to take you out on a dinner. They take you out on a dinner. I said, yes. He said, I know the restaurant you like Blue Cabana. I want to take you to Blue Cabana by the poolside and break the news to you. I said, are you getting married? He said, far from me. I said, a young man. I said, Uncle, I'm working. Working where? Where did you don't go to work. You're always in this house. Uncle, I'm working with a Norwegian company. I looked at him. I said, look, me and you know that I travel, I live here in this house. You don't even go outside that gate. Only weekends in the evening are when you travel, are when you go out. You go with my car, there's a tracker on my car. I see all the clubs you go to. Where are you working? I said, Uncle, I earn 6,000 euros a month. I said, can you show me proof? He opened his email. He showed me the appointment letter. I had to look at it to make sure that, you know these boys that have gone to read IT. Look at it properly to make sure it's not fake. He said, and I was just trying to tell you that I was waiting for their response because I asked them if I could move over to Norway. Because I don't like to stay in Nigeria. And if I move over to Norway, I'll be earning about 11,500 a month because of the taxes. What are you waiting for? I'm trying to just to tell you now so that I can tell them. I said to her, tell them. He said, okay. 2 weeks after I came, he said, let's go for dinner. He took me out for dinner and got from the pocket, he got out the letter from the company stating that him and his dependents approved for them to proceed to the Norwegian embassy for their visa. Work permit actually. I looked at him and I told myself, if I wasn't an American citizen, I probably would have said, I'm not your dependent. you can say I'm not wanting to be dependent to his nephew. You know? So, to cut the long story short, Olakwa is in Norway now, he's married, he's built his house. From what he learned within 6 months of IT, know what he went to university to do. What is the meaning of that? Olakwa was able to upscale himself from what he learned. This goes for you, your dependent, and your children. Let them learn a skill. Let them upskill themselves so that they can make a meaningful life. It is not until you go and read law, read medicine, read this one. You read whatever you want to read, but get one of the trending skills so that you know what you have. Right? So this is the story of the Lapot. The other one living here in Nikala is the guy who, the resource person for this our techpreneur. Very young man, is here. But he's working for a company in Russia. He earns $7,000 a month, but he lives here. So when you see him now walking on the street, he's walking on the street like me and you. He speaks the car like me and you. But what gets to his hand every month is not what me and you earn. He earns $1, we earn naira. He earns $1, we earn in naira. You see, that is the difference. And please somebody convert $7,000 for me. That times is about 1,500. That's about 10.something million naira. 10.something million naira a month. Imagine somebody earning 10.something million naira a month. And I'm very, and he does his business here because he is our resource person. So such a person, you won't say that he's slaving, but he's doing his business. He's still earning money from what we are paying him, and he's still working for them because they work remotely. So, my brothers and sisters, you can see some of the practical ways we can actually grow wealth and we can make wealth. Because that's the commandment that God gave us. So he created us in his own image and after his own likeness. To do what? To profit. To do business. And as I earlier said, God, our Father, is a businessman. That is why he gave one to get more. You know, and that's why Jesus Christ himself from his mouth told us the story of the talent. God will frown when you are not making business. We are not making profit. So please, let us have a mind shift today. That doesn't mean that you quit your job and run. No. Don't quit your learn. Let's get the knowledge that you need. So it's always better that you have your own business or multiple streams of income so you don't depend just on salary. Thank you very much.
Wow. Dr. Peterson, thank you. Thank you so much. Can we clap for Dr. Peterson? You know, at a point, I was feeling somehow not too comfortable. Ask me why. In my heart, I was saying, do I have all the right people to consume this great thing? Because the level Dr. Peterson went to today, my head is very hot. Right. My head is very hot. You can't hear things like this and remain just ordinary. Once again, Dr. Peterson, we are grateful. I'm proud and happy that a lot of people need to see the other side of you that they are seeing, beyond just the politician. Please, can we celebrate him one more time? With a few things we have had, you can agree with me that everybody in this hall can be wealthy. Yeah. The sky can take all of us. All we need to do, if you have been able to put the two things from our speaker together, is to get our brain working. To just get the brain working. I discovered that making money is not even just by power and strength. Evangelist Paul said something. He said thinking. Those of us who worship in the Wisdom Center, I will always say, do what? Think. Think as our leaders. Because it is only when you think ideas drop in you. Evangelist Paul, we are grateful. Dr. Peterson, we are grateful. Thank you so much. Please let's celebrate them one more time. time is fast spent, but I'm just going to see if we have very few questions. And we are not going to give back to question, giving back to question. If you know you have question, I will request that you just signify by raising your hand. Not while they are addressing the question of somebody who's no.
My name is Pastor Isaac of Victory Girls Social Ministry. I want to appreciate greatly the two speakers. Now we heard about farming as a lucrative state to go into. That is taken. Now, the species of this cassava you have mentioned, if those interested here want it, how can we get better guidance?
The cassava initiative. We have the sheep. By the time we start the cassava program, we train quite a number of people. The cassava program has two parts. There is the part that the off-takers will bring the stem, that is the sheep that you're talking about now, and they will give it to you to plant. And if your farm is large enough, they will come and harvest it from you, weigh it and pay you in your farm. But if your farm is not large enough, you harvest it and bring it to them, and they will pay you still. And the other aspect is the one where the off-taker, they want to start Delta carrying themselves, where they will give you discretion, give you money to go and rent a farm, that if you don't have a big farm, of course they would have screened you first. They give you money to go and rent the farm. When you rent the farm, they will give you money to plant it. Planting, you need laborers. When you harvest it, then they will come and take it off you. When they take it off, they will wait still and pay you there. You see, there are two different programs. There's one that will give you money to go and rent the land. And when you show them, they will tell you the area they want the land, where you want to rent. They don't want to go and rent the land themselves. They will give you what you should do. Go and pay for it. 3 hectares or 10 hectares. And give you money to plant it and help you with pesticides. Then when you harvest it, they'll buy it from you. So at the end of the day, it's still a business for you. You know, they don't want to be in the end-to-end business. They want you to earn from it while they do what they do every day. When that program starts, you will know. Let you. That's why I didn't dwell so much on it, because we are yet to tie up agreements with them. And tying up agreement, I mean, the amount we pay our people. So we don't want them to just come and decide themselves and say, this is what we're going to pay you. We know what they sell it in the market. So if you go on Google now, you see a ton of cassava is being sold for between 50 to 80,000 and check on that also. But the market reality is different. What you'll be reading was posted long time ago when dollar was 600 or 700. And we all know what dollar is now. So now a ton of cassava is about 280, 300. To be interested that a bag of gari last week in Lagos, 80,000 naira.
Wow. These are very vital information for us. I just hope some persons are taking note of it. Well, at this juncture, I want to say this, and we gradually bring World Conference 2024 to a close. I said something before we went into the question time. Well, no, you were not. You came in very late. I like every one of us to rise up and just do something to our guests. While we are standing, I'd like us to tell them thank you. Please, can we say it more louder? Let's thank you. Thank you, sir. The honest truth is that I don't think there's anybody in this auditorium that have not been blessed today. There is a change, there is a shift of mindset, there is a shift in thinking. But let me say this as we close. It is better you didn't hear than to hear and never act. It is better you wrote nothing down than you wrote a lot and you never visited it. You wrote a lot and you never visited it. Because one of the greatest problems with a normal person is we are quick to hear, quick to write, or we are slow to act. Ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing Wealth Conference 2024 to a close, and I want to say that come Wealth Conference 2025, everybody here will be better than they came. Let's stretch forth our hand and pray for our speakers. Let's ask God to keep them for us. These are great blessings to our community. These are men who God has blessed our community with. We didn't go to Lagos to look for them. We didn't go. They are blessed within us here. Let's ask God to keep them for us. Let's ask God to spare their life and give them good health. Let's ask for preservation for them. That the Lord will preserve them. That the Lord will keep them for us. Nothing will happen to any of them. Let us extend a prayer to their families. That the Lord will bless every seed that came out from them. Wherever they are located. In the mighty name of Jesus. That what you had today will grow in you. It will develop and also become something better. In the name of Jesus. You also will have experience to share. 2025 when we are calling again for Wealth Conference in the name of Jesus. Everyone with an idea here, I decree, let that idea blow up. Let that idea grow in the name of Jesus. I also want to pray for a very special set of people. Those who are here, they have had a lot, but their health is a challenge. By the corporate agreement of why we are here, I decree that you are healed. The Lord take away sickness from your body, give you good health, and help you to be positioned for wealth. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Wealth Conference 2024 is hereby declared closed in the name of God the Father, in the name of God the Son, and in the name of God the Holy Spirit. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. God bless you. Thank you for coming. We celebrate you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. You can exchange contact with somebody, talk to somebody. Partnership can begin from here.
I'd show you all around. If there's any